Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a good day. Hope everything's okay. Just like to say thanks to everybody who subscribed to the channel. Really appreciate it. And if you haven't already subscribed, it might be a good time to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, so I picked a Mavic Mini up yesterday locally in our Argos in the UK, and I've had a little fly of it, had a little look at it, and it seems to be okay. It seems to be fantastic, to be honest. What we're going to do is an unboxing, bearing in mind that I've opened the box already, so I'm going to go through the contents, just show you what's in there. We're going to move and then we're going to go for flight, check all the systems out. The software looks really good, check out all that, and then we'll go for a flight and just put it all together and see how this thing stacks up. Bearing in mind, I've never owned a DJI before. This is the first one. I was contemplating on the Air, but price wise I went for this because it was the cheapest, like most people are going to do. And coming up this Christmas, I would expect a lot of people buying this drone, especially the weight and things. So what we'll do is we'll go back over to the bench and then we'll just do an unboxing. Hi guys, so we're back at the bench. We're going to go through what comes with the Mavic Mini. Just make a bit of space here, okay, just to get things out of the road. So there's the box initially. So it comes in this size box, as you can see. There's a mobile phone, so comparison. So I'm not going to measure it, but it comes in this box. Nice graphic on the front, bit of specs on the side. I got the Fly combo, which comes with like sort of 2 extra batteries, so you got 3 batteries in total. Guards, I think you get 3 sets of props, but we'll have a look, and the bag, the case. Well worth it. I mean, there's £100 just for them. I don't really use the guards because they add too much weight. And also it comes with this cool charger as well, with their slot inside of there, and it's other features on that. So that's what that comes with. So nothing else on the side. So let's get shot of that. We'll put that back up there. So it comes with a box. I've took a lot of things out. So 3 cables it comes with. That one, and that one, and the one that's already on. Yeah. So you got Android. You got Apple one. Like a Lightning one, I think it is. I don't have an Apple. And then you've got Type C, which I've got in there, and a normal micro mini. Comes with 3 sets of props plus the ones on, so you've got 4 sets. So there's there's 4 propellers in there and screws with it. I've already opened one of them because I wanted to see what they were like, and I've put it in the case. So it just comes with that. It also comes with a charger, fast charger. Just give us a second till I find my little tiny magnifying glass, because this is so small. So the output is 5 volts at 3 amps, so it's a 3 amp 15 watt charger. It's quite weighty as well, so it's definitely something in there. 9 volts at 2 amps, 12 volts at 1.5 amps. I don't know how that works, but obviously this is USB, so I would expect it to always be 5. But if you put more in anyway, so that comes with that, which is good. I have 2 of them, so I have another one, so I can charge it. This one's a Motorola one, but it's pretty much the same thing. This one only goes to 2.5 amps, so I use this for the controller and that for the batteries. Okay, so 2 sets of props, which is good. Sorry, 3 sets of props plus the ones on there. You get your cables for charging up, which I'll leave there. Comes with some propeller guards, which are very light. They just clip on. They're like, if that's the front of the drone, they clip on sideways like that. Yeah, because you've got a low one and a high one, so that's the back. That's the front of the drone, like that. So that's how it's going to be. Yeah. They just clip on. The little clip goes around the arm and just clocks in. Clips in like that. Comes with them. which we leave at the side so you can have a little look at them. It's mobile phone out the road, guys. And I think that's pretty much it. Everything else is in the box. Just before I go on though, I've printed a few little things out. I printed out some prop guards which just slot over the top, and I'll show you them later. I don't need it, but I printed them out anyway. And I've printed out something else I'll show you in a minute. So here's the case. It's like a fabric covered case. Nice handle on there. The instructions what come with this are very sparse. There's like a quick start guide about the size of that. It's a tiny little thing. It's that small you need a magnifying glass to bloody read it. Nice handle which is stitched in. That ain't going to come loose. And it's got some tags on here where you could clip like a shoulder strap. It doesn't come with a shoulder strap, but you could attach one to that part. Them two if you wanted. Now I've already opened up the zip. Is one of those types. It's a plastic zip, rubber covered top with DJI on. Just looks quality. It feels nice and it's nice and small, so this thing go in my backpack super easily. Now when I did open it up I was a bit shocked because I was, oh god, what have I done? I bought this thing because I was going to buy a Hubsan Xeno 2, the Pro version. I was like this to get the Xeno or get is it the Zoomy X 8, is it 8 something, I can't remember the model of it, but you can only buy them ones from online like Banggood and places like that, and I didn't really, I've lost a lot of, and I'm going to do another video about Banggood because keep an eye out for this channel, guys, because this is coming up next. This is a quad bot from Banggood, and it doesn't work. It's all over the place. It's got all the sensors, got all the gear, and I'm going to do a separate video about that. I haven't done it yet, but it's something to look out for, because when it comes to getting your money back or sending things back to Banggood, I can understand there's guys out there who's probably done the same thing. It's a nightmare, it's a minefield. So unless you're buying something like this or something like this where you don't mind if it gets lost, you haven't lost a great deal. Buying anything big, expensive, you take a risk. But I'll do a video of that. So the case looks fantastic. So as we open it up, we've got a controller, battery charger and the drone. So we'll have a look at, we'll get everything out. So we'll put that there. In fact, what we'll do is we'll just slide that up. We'll have a little talk about each one and use that as a cover. So the case, sorry, the controller, typical Mavic style of controller. Now I have got another controller. This one's off the Bugs 4. Looks very similar, especially when you open up the antennas. The antennas clip in, like a little clip, and them do as well. Very similar. Yeah. So once you open up the arms, yeah. The only thing what's missing is the screen. So if this thing had a screen like this, I mean, watch this. It's got pretty much everything you want, so you don't need a phone. If you, I mean, obviously you can use one, but you've got your reception, your battery power, you've got your height, your distance, how many satellites, your mode, and obviously you've got everything else on there. So yeah, it'd be nice if this model had that. Cheap £150 drone has that, and this one doesn't. Anyhow, not going to whinge too much about that, but it would be nice. But you can certainly feel the quality of this. So the handles come out like so, and they lock in. There's a metal bar there. You do have your clips, your joysticks, the plastic, so don't over tighten them. And they just pop out of there, and there's little clips where they clip in, so you won't lose them. They don't just fall out. I always carry it, and you get a second set as well, which I've got in there, which I'll show you. Now if your phone goes in, I've got my Type-C connector there waiting. That's in there. I've put a little dot of paint on so I don't get the wrong way around. And also what I've done is I've got on order an adapter to go on the Type-C. So what I can do is it's a bit like this type of thing I've ordered, but it's Type-C, so that can go in, and I can charge it up off instead of taking this in and out all the time. Because once you damage that, then you're screwed really. So you could always replace these, but replacing this. So that's what I've done. And your phone goes in there like so, and I'll show you my phone. Originally I was going to use a Galaxy because I thought it was 5G, and it's not. This is not a 5G phone. This is a Motorola. Sorry, this is a Samsung Galaxy A20, and I'll just take the magnetic thing out. A lot of people put magnetic ones in. I'm not convinced. And that just goes into there like that. Okay. It's a little bit hit and miss, but it's not too bad. And yeah, you can see that goes on like that. Pretty nice, sweet. It's safe enough. That clips in, so the dongle bit actually goes through a little hole. You can pull this down a bit further, so it stops it from falling out. And also there's like rubber grips, but I wouldn't trust it. I would keep hold of it as well, like your thumbs are there. So I'll leave that like this. I'll just turn it off. So it's got them. The thumb controllers feel good, and they're segmented, so it feels like a hexagon or an octagon type of. You can actually feel the corners, and it moves to there, to there. There's actually a bottom part as well, so there's a little ridge. So if you want to go straight down, you can find that. Straight up, you can feel it like locking. So they feel really good and really responsive. There's 4 little blue lights at the top, and what they're for is if you hit the power button once, it'll show you charge, and if you want to turn it on, you just do the double click, 1 click, and then hold it on, and then it'll boot up. I'm going to turn it back off. Okay, there's no point having it on. And there's a nice little speaker in there. I think the speaker is coming out this bottom part here. So other buttons we've got the on and off, and then you've got the return to home and auto land. So if it's beyond the, like, say 30 meters before return to home is activated, and then if you hold it down it'll land, or if you hold it once it'll cancel. And if it's past the auto return, say you've got it set to 30 meters and you're 40, and if you hold it down, then it'll return to home and land. But you can it's like a pause button or a cancel button. If you ask it to do radius, then you can cancel it. Or if it's landing, you can cancel it, or push up on the stick. So you can cancel everything by just stopping it with the stick command. You can also start and stop the engine, the motors from here, or you can use, or you can start and stop it with a traditional in and out and in commands, that's a nice thing. If you don't have the controller, the screen, you can still fly this thing. Okay, so your antennas up front, these are real antennas, so they do work. Unlike this one, these are just phony antennas. The 2.5 gigs is running along side is. I've taken this to bits, had a look inside. What I'm going to do is run the 2.5 up there. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. When I get 5 minutes, I'll do that, and that'll be another video for that. Nothing else on the side. That's where your connectors go, as you can see. This side's always going to be the same. It's like a mini USB. It's a square type, so they're always going to go into there. And then on the other end you've got your other adapters for different phones, so you can pretty much fit every phone. Nothing really on the back. Some nice little cutouts for your fingers to sit in, so that they hold on, so you can hold on to the phone, and just hooks onto there. So that's really good. Nothing else on the front really. So you've got the antennas, you've got video on, video off, so start and stop video, photograph, take a photograph, and then you've got your scroll wheel for your gimbal up and down, and this can also be set. You can make it quicker or slower in the app, which is good, and some vents at the top. So that's it really for the controller. I don't think I missed anything else. The other one's going to be the software. I'm not going to go into software, but I might just show you it. but you really need it on to see it. I might do another video for that because it's quite in depth. Just want to show you, get this working, get it flying, and then we can look at the options. Apparently the software on there is pretty decent. You can do a bit of editing, photo editing, video editing, you can crop and things, and so it's quite in depth and other things. So this is the case. Let's have a look at what else is in there. We've got a charger. Okay, there's a charger. Now I'll just take, if you notice, I've got this white thing. That's a 3D printed part. And I'll show you this first. So what this is, I can get it out. It's a little bit snug. That was the case. I pushed it down a bit too much. I should come out. It's just, so what this is, it's just like a battery printed out, and in there, if I can just open that, it has to be quite small to get in, because, and then what's in there, there's just the tools. So it comes with a screwdriver, nothing else in there. There's the other props which I've opened and I've just resealed. So there's 4 more propellers and screws in there. I can't really see for the light, but there's all the screws in there. 2 plus 8 screws, and then there's 2 more gimbal sticks in there. And I'll just keep all these in here because it's just I don't drop the bloody thing. They just fit into there nice. So I'll just pick that screwdriver up. It wouldn't be a video if I didn't drop it. Okay, in this thing you can just get off Thingiverse. Somebody else has designed this. I didn't design it. But what has made me think, these batteries are 2 18650s. So now I've got the design for this. It wouldn't take a great deal to put 2 18650s together and have yourself a spare battery. So I've got 3 batteries. One of them's already in. That one goes in there. There's a little groove running down the side. So if I take a battery out, you can see that there's a groove runs down there. Obviously the clip's different, and the power socket is there, so you'd have to like sort of do something like that. But it goes in, just locks in there, and it's got all your bits and bobs in if you need it. So what these do is these clip in that way. You just lock it in place. Feels good quality. It takes up to 3 batteries. I've put like 3 dots on, so I'll paint, so I know which is which and which has been charged. Also in the software, it tells you how many times you've charged that particular battery, because the battery's got serial numbers and tells you battery. So on the side, again, I put a little dot of paint, so I know which way to put the USB. So I'm not putting it in the wrong way, because sometimes it's hard to see. There's a button on the side, and if you touch that button, what you see, tells you that one's full, that one's half full, and that one's nothing in. You can also use it as a battery bank, which is so if your phone died after you finished, you can charge your phone up and things, which is a fantastic feature. What I like about it is, what I would recommend is you get yourself a battery bank, and there's the one I use, which is an anchor, and a lead, and you can just go obviously from there to there, and while you're flying you can be topping up your batteries or topping up whatever you need to do, which is a good thing. So that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, so there's that. Excellent. And then we've got the drone itself. Pop that out the side. We'll just use it on the top of there. So this thing is tiny. Look at this, guys. When I first got it and I looked at it, I was like, oh no, I've done the wrong thing, because I expect to see, when I looked at the size of these motors, I'm like, oh no, this is like a toy. This is like a waste of money. And then when I flew it, I was like blown away by how much this little thing can do. So what you're paying for basically is the 249 grams or less, or whatever it is, and the portability. Everything you need is going to be in there. 3 batteries and charger and everything. The only thing's not in there is your mobile phone. So yeah, it looks pretty good. It flies exceptionally well. But it looks tiny, it looks so fragile, and it is fragile. You've got to be careful how you hold it. It's almost like a little bed, and you don't want to break it. So it feels really like weak. So this thing is tiny, as you can see. So let's have a look at what it looks like opened up. So to open it up, you open up the top, the front first. They're not quite good springs, so don't let them just fly out. Just release them slowly, and then I usually flip it over to do the bottom. And then these ones actually pivot like that. Where, oh shit! Don't do that. I'm not French. Okay, so that's it. It's fully opened, and there's the size of it compared to a mobile phone. As you can see, it's about the same length as a mobile phone. So yeah, it seems to looks nice. It's just a mini version of the other Mavics. So and it performs just as good. Apart from it hasn't got the power for like heavy winds. So 10 mile an hour, 15 mile an hour probably max. But apart from that, it's going to do everything pretty much the same. It doesn't have sensors forward, so these are not working like on the other Mavics. So that's how they've kept the price down, and the weight. I think it's weight mainly. But I've seen some software where it's using these bottom sensors, because I think the bottom sensors come out on a 45-degree field. So if it was going to hit something, it can sense it and it moves over the top. So that does work. It doesn't have no reversing sensors, so if you're going backwards, it'll do the same type of thing, but it's not going to be avoidance, no collision avoidance ones, which is fine. I'm not really going to be doing that type of flying anyway, so I didn't buy it for that. Motors are tiny. I don't know what specs these motors are. If anyone knows, they can find out on the DJI website. It's got some vents at the top, and these vents are obviously let airflow in, and there's also some vents on the sides and the bottom as well. There's a metal plate inside. It looks like a heat sink. So because this thing gets quite warm, so don't let it just sit for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Get it working, get it flying, so it keeps cool. You got your sensors on the bottom. And I think I'm almost 100% certain that these are infrared, and they've got optical flow. There's a LED light which changes different colours, whether you've got GPS, whether you haven't got, whether it needs binding or it needs calibration, compass, all that type of thing. There's a button here, so there's only one button on it, 4 LEDs. If you touch it once, you get an indicator of your battery level, and then if you do it again, it switches on. And that's it really for the features. On the back there's a USB and an SD card. I have a 32 gig SanDisk card in there, and the USB, you can charge it as well. So if you plug it into a battery bank or the charger, then it will charge the battery which is in there. So that's another good thing you can do. There's a little door, so you can see your battery in there. How to take the battery out if you listen. Let me do that with this hand. As I push up on the bottom there, there's a little button that allows me to take that out. There's a little clip there which you're pushing up, and then to put it back in, you can see your connections. Don't damage them. Don't just drop it in, push it in slowly, then click it. The door goes down, you're ready to go. These arms have got foam insets in to keep the weight down. Also, I've noticed recently that I think it's going to be 5.8 gigahertz, your video reception antennas are coming along and down. So while it's flying, it's going to be using these as antennas. So from the back, it's going to get a good reception. That's why I think how they're getting that reception for the video feed. So yeah, other things we've got is there's a little bit of text on the side. You got your gimbal cover, just clips out. So if you notice, I just pop it out like that, and it should be And it's got two little clips at the front, so just pull it back and you should be able to see there's two little clips there. Yeah, so they hook in. It's a 3-axis gimbal, so it's going to stabilise your yaw, roll and pitch. And to put it back in, it's a little bit fiddly to go in. That's not going in. Clip one side and then the other side. Just make sure that your gimbal is not twisted as you're pushing that in. Don't force anything, guys. So there she is in all her glory. Next thing's going to be, I think I've covered everything. Next thing's going to be, we're going to get up flying. I'm going to go through the app and see. I think it's going to be a bit long, the video, to do all the settings for that, but I could show you quite quick, I suppose. So what I need to do is take this off first, and then we're going to turn it on, so it's, and then you put it down straight away. It does its thing. We turn the remote control on. There's a blue and red, sorry, a red light flashing. It's gone to green now, and then the gimbal is doing its little thing. Make sure the gimbal's not on grass where it's going to like get caught up. Switch this on, and then it should connect. It's flashing rapidly now, so it should connect. When that stops flashing, you should have a connection. There's also an audio beep. There you go. So that's connected now. It's flashing slowly because it's looking for GPSs, but it's green, so it means that it's got a GPS log already. And once you connect the app, then the camera will find itself. So I'll just switch this on and just look for the app. Now it's automatically found the app already. Just give it a second. It's asking for permission for something. There you go. So it's automatically found it. I didn't bring that up. So there's the app, and it's going to connect on its own. There you go. Gimbal's off a little bit. Maybe that'll change. May need to reset it. So the gimbal's not. There you go. Oh, it's doing its thing now. There you go. So there's a gimbal. I'll just look at that. I don't know if you can see it. You might not see it there, but you can see I'm going left and right, and it's doing a pretty good job. So there's your basic setup there. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I'll do a separate video of this. But you've got your takeoff, you've got your landing, you've got everything in there. You've got your battery levels, you've got all your settings. But again, I'm going to leave that for another video, guys. So I'm going to get out and have a little fly of this thing. It's picking the it's already found. It's found 3 satellites, 5 satellites already. Has a green flashing light to say that you can take off. It says caution because obviously it hasn't got a full satellite, but it's just building all that up there. Right guys, so we're going to be back shortly and we're going to have a little fly outside.